YouTube family, welcome to Qué Golazo. Make sure to smash like and subscribe before we get into the thrilling finales to the Premier League and Serie A title races. Vamos! Manchester City were on the ropes. Liverpool were on the verge of clinching a domestic treble. Then chaos ensued. Over in Italy, AC Milan ended a 12-year Scudetto wait in emphatic fashion, putting Sassuolo to the sword to keep Inter at bay. And that's just the title races. There were plenty more at stake with European spots and the fight for survival still to settle. I'm Luis Miguel Echegaray, LME. He's Michael Lahoud. We've got a lot of ground to cover. The Qué Golazo weekend recap, the final one of the season, begins right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Qué Golazo. Thank you so much for being part of the family. YouTube.com/Qué Golazo. Keep liking and subscribing and sharing. We're getting closer to 12,000 subscribers. Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter as well. Before we get into the recap, we have a winner to announce from Wednesday's Paramount Plus giveaway. Congratulations, Jerry Ford. Our producer has already DM'd you with details about how to redeem your prize. Jerry Ford, you sound like a fake name, but I'll believe that is you. Enjoy all that live and on-demand content from Paramount Plus. And good news for everybody else watching and listening. We've got another $100 subscription to give away today. Just a reminder that P Plus is your home for Champions League, Europa Conference League, which is the final next week, Serie A, NWSL, NFL, golf, Star Trek, South Park, Top Gun, Clifford the Big Red Dog, apparently. Basically everything to be in with a chance to win. Follow Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter, like this video, and write your handle on P Plus in the live chat or comment section. It's very easy. Michael Lahoud, finally I get to introduce you. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. All the teams I wanted to get results got results today. I can't wait to dive in to the topics at hand.
Absolutely, my friend, and welcome to the final weekend recap of the season. It was ridiculous. You may not be able to tell, but I am absolutely shattered. I am so tired. The killing Mbappe news, Michael Lahoud, just like, oh my God. And it's already boiling. I don't know what it's like over there in Texas, but in New York, it's so hot. Yeah. And so it was already hot. Mbappe comes in. Then all the madness from today. I don't know if I can survive, Michael Lahoud. You're going to have to help me out, buddy.
LME, if there's one person who can survive and thrive in this madness, I know it's you. I saw your hit that you did on the Kylian Mbappe news. You killed it. So can't wait for today's show.
I didn't even ask him to say that. I'll Venmo you after this, Michael Lahoud.
Just can only speak truth on this show. There's a truth meter, and it's very high right now.
I appreciate you, brother. Much love. Welcome, everybody. Qué Golazo weekend recap. Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter, please. And we want your comments. This is live. So Michael Lahoud wants to answer your questions. I want to answer them too. So please let us know. All right, let's begin with just what just finished. AC Milan, for the first time, they win the Scudetto. 11 years, I believe. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Pioli and AC Milan are Scudetto winners 2021-2022. Fantastic, with an emphatic victory over Sassuolo. Inter Milan also won, but it was neck and neck. But AC Milan, in the end, Michael Lahoud got the victory. Absolutely fantastic, as Rossoneri finally can claim to be champions once again.
And the diehards, they have a song for Pioli. Da 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 da. Pioli's on freaking fire with what he's done with this AC Milan team, and it was not just the most sexiest man, the sexiest striker in world football, Olivier Giroud, delivering again when Milan needed him most. It's Rafa Leão, the young Portuguese winger, coming up with the goods, almost carbon copy assists on the first two goals. Really, defense and Milan's press, something that they don't get enough credit for throughout this season, but their press is what stifled Sassuolo's attack, Sassuolo gifting them goals. And when you gift a team that is hungry for a Serie A title, as Milan has been all throughout this season, and especially today, you are playing with fire, and they got burnt, and burnt badly.
Let's talk about AC Milan for a second, Michael Lahoud. An unbelievable achievement because, you know, at the beginning of last season, Pioli and Paolo Maldini, the director, obviously one of the most legendary center backs the game has ever seen, Milan through and through, they were under pressure a lot. Ralf Rangnick was in conversation of maybe taking over. A lot had to be changed for AC Milan. And, you know, things changed. And he put together quite the squad. We've talked about it before. There's no superstars here. Of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but, he's reaching the final stages of his career. But this is a squad that put together the perfect formula to win the Scudetto, my friend. Unbelievable. Don't the squad in itself and the manager, of course, but Maldini surely deserves a lot of credit here.
Oh, absolutely. And he got it right by getting one of the elder statesmen in strikers in world football, a guy who was a European champion last year in Olivier Giroud. When he got Giroud, so many people, my hand goes up. We're like, I can't even say it on this show because we're live and it's a cuss word in Italian. I think it's starts with a C, two SS's and an O. Will let you fill in the vowels. But what the heck were you thinking? That's what everyone in world football was saying. But hey, this is why Maldini is in the position he's in. You got to gamble if you're going to turn the tide in Serie A football and get the title. And he did. And it's paying off in the form of Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, huge for Pioli in a make or break season. I agreed, Mauricio. Fantastic stuff. Let's talk about a few other players. We've talked about Rafa Leao, surely a star in the making already. Portugal should be calling him up for sure when it comes to the World Cup. You've talked about Giroud. Frank Kessie, of course, he's attracting a lot of attention. Theo Hernandez. How about Tomori, Fikayo Tomori? I mean, can Gareth Southgate keep ignoring him for the England national team?
I put him in the same category of just a season that he's had. I put him in the same category as Bowen from West Ham. You can't ignore some of these young players who are impacting the game on their teams. Look, Tomori, he's a champion. He left Chelsea, big gamble to leave the European champions to get playing time, and it pays off in the form of a Serie A title. If you want to get your team to just go to the next level on the international level, you have to have winners in your ranks. Get this guy in the camp, minimum.
Absolutely. Fantastic stuff from AC Milan. And now, Inter Milan shouldn't be too disheartened, I guess. They pushed AC Milan, but they won Coppa Italia. Simone Inzaghi had a lot to do after Antonio Conte left. How would you judge their season, this campaign under Simone Inzaghi?
I think it's been a relatively successful campaign, although it doesn't show itself in the form of a Serie A title. This is an Inter team that lost their best player and the best player in Serie A last season in the form of Romelu Lukaku. Big Rom is looking like a big bust at Chelsea this season, though. But that's so difficult to do when you have your manager that's there in Antonio Conte that leaves and your best player from last year that leaves. Those are two massive losses. But enter Inzaghi, and who does he have to thank for getting him this close? Lautaro Martinez. He wasn't as sharp as he typically has been in 2022 today, but you really see a shift in the partnership and the options that Martinez now has to partner with in the form of Joaquin Correa. I think Correa brings the best out of Martinez because Correa can drop in midfield and play make a little bit, and that allows Martinez to do what he does best, leading the line, staying between the center forwards, and making runs into the final third.
Absolutely. By the way, the relegation battle is a little bit later on. As Salernitana face Udinese, Venezia, Cagliari. You still going with the Salernitana escape here?
You can't bet against this team with how they're playing. James Benz said that they look like the Goon Squad, maybe even the Toon Squad today. Both teams are incredible from Space Jam. And Benz, you are spot on. Don't bet against a team that's red hot.
Absolutely right. Any other notes from Serie A here, Michael Lahoud, as we say goodbye to the Italian League, which, by the way, you were able to watch on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports, saluting all our team there who did a fantastic job. Fiorentina, they get Europe. Yeah. That's great to see once again. Juventus, they manage Champions League as well. Any other notes as we say goodbye to the Serie A?
I would say keep an eye on that Lazio jumping Roma to get to that 5th place spot. I think that's going to be a big one because that could have pressure implications on Maurizio Sarri if he did not jump Roma to get that higher spot. Those two are going to go toe-to-toe, I think, next league for Champions League qualification.
Who's winning Conference League, my friend? Instinctive right now. Do you think Roma has a chance?
Absolutely. You can't bet against Jose Mourinho in his first seasons at clubs. Typically what happens, trophies. Cue the Drake song, trophies. This guy wins trophies in his first season. I'm not going to play with fire like that.
I'm telling you, his Instagram is going to be insupportable if he does that. But I may agree. Feyenoord is not an easy opponent, though, so it should be a very interesting battle there. But that's it for Serie A. Fantastic stuff from Paramount Plus and CBS Sports team as well, covering the league as well. Make sure to check it out, because they're still around, by the way, the entire day as they reflect on a great moment as AC Milan win the Scudetto. But this is the Conference League final as well, which is on Paramount Plus as Roma face Feyenoord 2:30 Eastern, May 25th. Unbelievable stuff. All right, let's discuss the Premier League, my friend. My God, what? I mean, listen, there's a reason why the Premier League is the best league in the world, okay? It's so entertaining. And yes, even though Man City and Liverpool are clearly a cut above the rest, there is so much drama everywhere. And the way these narratives are concluded, they push you all the way to the final minutes of the game. Case in point. And I told you, Liverpool fans, now you know what it's like to be an Aston Villa fan. 2-0 up. Villa were playing a really good game. To your point, Michael Lahoud, you said in the preview that, don't completely overthrow Villa. I was with you. I just didn't want to completely agree to it. But Villa were very good for 70 minutes. There was a very strong Villa side here, 2-0, and then the Man City train that is, of course, and they take over. And Man City, for the fourth time in the last 5 years, are Premier League champions. Only your Manchester United has been able to do that, Michael Lahoud, with Sir Alex Ferguson. They did it 3 times, actually. But Man City, 4 out of the last 5 years, Premier League champions. Pep Guardiola celebrates, the team celebrates. Your thoughts?
Oh, I thought this is a combination of Villa throwing the game away. For 70 minutes, Villa and Steven Gerrard managed this game to a plum. And it's also a combination between doing that for 70 minutes and Pep overthinking and over-tinkering. Look at Manchester City. We'll get to them second. Let's give Villa the praise that they deserve for 70 minutes. Philippe Coutinho, Buendia, and Ollie Watkins, they ran riot on City's backline, specifically targeting Fernandinho. When I saw the team sheet, I thought, no way is Pep going to put Fernandinho at center back. And of course, Pep said, no, let's make this entertaining. We got to get our money's worth. Box office affair. So for 45 minutes, City looked shell-shocked. They looked like a team that almost didn't expect to be up in the advantage, with Wolves taking the early lead against Liverpool. And I think once that news spread around the stadium, they looked flustered. They were playing like a team that was afraid to lose the Premier League title rather than a team that looked confident to go and win. But halftime can be the great equalizer in Premier League football and world football, and Pep got it right. Bringing the most important sub, I think, was bringing in Zinchenko. Gundogan will get the headlines in the press, but Zinchenko, bringing him in, taking out Fernandinho, it brings balance. It puts Joao Cancelo back on his natural right wing back side, and just that balance started flooding through the team. And once you get one goal at home and you're Manchester City, the floodgates open.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I mean, there's a lot that I want to talk here, but we got a lot going on. But to your points, I thought our back line was fantastic. I thought Callum Chambers and Tyrone Mings did such a good job for the majority of the time. Lucas Dean with another beautiful assist for Matty Cash, our player of the season. And for a long time, we really frustrated them. Roy Keane said something on Sky Sports, I believe. Maybe it was BT, but I think it was Sky. How we're a little soft sometimes, especially when we go 2-0 up. And this is a trademark with Villa. It happens a lot. We actually gave away a 2-goal lead against Wolves. We've done it so many times. And it to the point where naturally a Villa fan just thinks at 2-0, we're bound to lose this 3-2. Credit to Man City. Fantastic stuff. But there were so many opportunities for Ollie Watkins to even put this away, and he didn't. And, it's time to reflect on that. But Man City, you got to give them credit. There's a reason why they spent $300 million on that bench. Not even Jack Grealish got any minutes today. That's how good they are, by the way. So it's a very, very solid squad. And if you're not ready for 90 minutes, they're going to punish you. Anything more to add on this, my friend?
Twofold. I think look at the players who are stepping up. Ilkay Gundogan, a player who was rumored to be on his way out of Manchester City. Well, Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, they're going to do everything in their power to keep him with the display and being the Premier League hero that he was today. And also for Aston Villa, you talk about managing 2-goal leads. It almost felt like they thought the game was over at 2-0 because they took off one of the more influential players, Philippe Coutinho. When Coutinho came out, the goals started coming. Villa's offensive threat seemed to have waned, and I thought it was just a bit too early to start managing the game in that way. Keep your dangerous players on for as long as possible. If Coutinho wasn't cramping, if he's not begging to come off the field, why is he coming off? Keep him on. I thought Gerrard got that moment wrong.
Yeah, many moments as well. Specifically, Douglas Luiz was getting a little too tired. He had a fantastic first 60 minutes, and then you could see the tiredness go. And Man City, they're going to punish you. If you give them an inch, they will take an absolute mile. What do you think about Liverpool, by the way? They beat Wolves. They did their job. Will missing out on a quadruple motivate or deflate Madrid, do you think?
I think it's going to be two separate affairs. If anything, now they're going to be highly motivated going into this match against Real Madrid. And I think it just evens it up that much more, but it's almost the wounded animal effect. Liverpool, they will feel very aggrieved leaving it to this point, leaving it where they, for much of that game, they had destiny in their own hands with City going down 2-0. And I thought they came out flat in this match. Wolves taking the early lead through Pedro Neto, and the injury to Thiago, though, that could be the ultimate deciding factor and talking point when it comes to the Champions League finals. We'll see how he recovers in that time. But to see Mohamed Salah come on, get the goal, that will give this Liverpool team confidence. To see Bobby Firmino, who has been the forgotten man at times, does he play a factor in the final? Sadio Mane, who, gosh, this guy, if he wins the Champions League with Liverpool, does he get in the Ballon d'Or conversations? Just so many unknowns for Liverpool going into next weekend's match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. You got to give Liverpool so much credit. I mean, look how they pushed Manchester City to the absolute end, to the final day. And there is no shame in winning the League Cup, the FA Cup, being in the Champions League final and pushing Man City all the way for the Premier League title. But Man City are champions. Unbelievable stuff. Fourth time in the last 5 years. That's Mohamed Salah, by the way, winning Golden Boot. Of course, that's an interesting photo there, Michael Lahoud. I don't know if he's happy or he didn't know if a photo was coming his way.
Yeah, I think it's probably a combination of being pissed and being caught off guard, because knowing players, we all know players around the world, that is just a bittersweet moment. He's not the type of guy who cares about individual stats. Yes, he wants to win the Golden Boot, but he would take a Premier League medal any day of the week. One of the more character guys around world football.
Absolutely correct. But well done, Manchester City and Liverpool. You still have one more trophy to fight for against Real Madrid. Unbelievable stuff. And by the way, that game you can also watch on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports. Of course, we'll have all the coverage on Qué Golazo, previewing the entire thing and previewing it and recapping it. We're all over. It's going to be a fantastic final. The Champions League final, May 28th. Coverage starts at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Paramount Plus. We'll have some stuff on HQ as well. Qué Golazo and everything else. Liverpool against Real Madrid. By the way, we have a Paramount Plus giveaway. Please make sure to drop in your handle, your comment. Just write in P+, your name, and you got one. Jerry Ford already has one. I still don't think he's real, but he has one apparently. But we're giving one more away, so make sure that you, come in and check it out. Paramount Plus giveaway. So much content as well. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Michael Lahoud, LME, will discuss about the North London fight for the Champions League. Of course, the relegation scrap, DFB Pokal, some Ligue 1, some final thoughts, and that will be it. The final weekend recap of the season. Qué Golazo, Michael Lahoud, LME. We'll be right back.
This Memorial Day, summer takes off.
Here we go.
Top Gun Maverick. It's a cinematic triumph.
Damn right.
It's jaw-dropping.
Nice.
And a masterful adrenaline rush.
Come on! Smoke in the air! Strike!
That's heart-stopping. And one of the greatest movies ever made.
Let's give him 10.
Yes! Outstanding.
Top Gun Maverick. Rated PG-13.
Welcome back, everybody. Qué Golazo weekend recap, the final one of the season. All right, let's remain in the Premier League with the Champions League fight. Obviously, Chelsea did their thing, Liverpool as well, Champions League, and as well for Man City, of course, who won the Premier League, but it was between the North London rivals in Tottenham and Arsenal to get it. North London, of course, began the day in the lead, and man, they took care of business against Norwich, 5-0. Lasagna I don't think so. Much ado about nothing. Harry Kane was not feeling great. It doesn't matter. He makes it happen today. Heung-min Son as well. Kulusevski and Tottenham have the Champions League spot. Arsenal do also win 5-1. They score 5 as well against Everton, but it wasn't to be. They have Europa League. Thoughts on that? I was asked this on HQ earlier, Michael. I'll ask you as well. How do you think, realistically, both these fan bases should think about how this season ended? I mean, yes, it's disappointing for Arsenal to not get Champions League. They are the youngest squad in the league, and they still have Europe, and there's a process. Should they be mega upset about this at Mikel Arteta? How would you analyze Tottenham's Champions League spot, the finalization with Conte, and Arsenal getting Europa?
I think this is a big win for Tottenham Hotspurs because you went and got a Serie former Premier League winning manager in Antonio Conte. And also there's a consolation prize if you're Arsenal, but let's start with Tottenham first. There was more pressure on Tottenham Hotspurs going in once they got Antonio Conte. For Arsenal, getting that Europa League spot, I think, is a massive win. You guarantee European football and do it at a league and really a level that this team is more ready for. This young team, I don't think, is ready and has enough depth for Champions League football. I think if they made it, they would have either crashed out of qualification, which becomes a bigger slap in the face, or they make the group stages and crash out of the group stages and end up in the Europa League anyways. I think everything, the dust settles the way it should in terms of where these two teams are actually at.
Yeah, and you got to give so much credit to Antonio Conte. He came in and he Antonio Conte'd Tottenham. Unbelievable. Just gave them belief, gave them this aggressive stamina to just push and go through. By the way, I know some of you are making comments and you make very good points. Mohamed Salah Golden Boot. Heung-min Son tied it with Mohamed Salah, the first Asian player to do it in the Premier League. I go on and on and on about him in this show, Michael Lahoud. I mean, I don't know why, but, when you talk about the likes of Harry Kane, Mohamed Salah, Karim Benzema, Heung-min Son needs to be up in this conversation. He is a tremendous player and a fantastic addition to the Premier League.
It makes you wonder if, look at what he's done since Mauricio Pochettino came into Tottenham Hotspurs, and since he arrived at Tottenham, this has been the go-to guy for Tottenham when Harry Kane has been injured. He gets very little love outside of North London, outside of the Tottenham part of North London. Arsenal fans would be very familiar with him. They don't like him as much as they don't like Harry Kane. He's a guy who can play multiple different positions. He can play as a second forward. He can lead the line. He can play as a winger. He is one of the more underappreciated players in the Premier League, and I'm so happy that he got a share of the Golden Boot. I hope this boosts up his profile that much more in the world's game. And I think if he played for anyone other than South Korea, we'd be having a different conversation about how good this guy is.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's nothing more to be said about that. Heung-min Son is an absolute world-class player. And we salute you for co-winning the Golden Boot with Mohamed Salah, an African and an Asian winning the Golden Boot. I love it. I love it. All right, let's keep moving here. The relegation scrap, Jesse Marsch. He did it. Unbelievable. 2-1 against Brentford. I've never been happier to be wrong about a prediction. Burnley go down. They join Norwich, of course, and they join Watford and Jesse Marsch's Leeds. Thanks to it. Jack Harrison, by the way. Talk about the MLS connection here, Michael Lahoud, as Leeds United stay in the Premier League. Thoughts?
And it's right in your neighborhood, LME. New York, baby.
That's
Gosh, homage to New York City, the great city of New York. But it's incredible. There's just a bit of gold dust about Jesse Marsch and his rise to prominence in European football, choosing to just engage in cultures wherever he goes. He did that in Austria with Salzburg, and he's doing it in England with the British media, taking on criticism head on, dusting it off, and leading this team. One thing I know about Jesse Marsch, I was a former teammate of his at Chivas USA, mighty Chivas USA. And one of the things that we all knew about Jesse is a motivator. He is made for these type of character-driven games. He's a character guy. He was a character guy as a player. He's a big character guy as a manager. And I hope this is the first of many successes. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Leeds United fans everywhere. And I got it wrong where I said Everton was going to go down. And, my surrogate dad, congratulations to you. The old man, the OG, I have a promise that I made to him years ago that I would take him to Ellen Road. Looks like that dream is still alive to see his first ever Premier League match. I'm pretty sure he's drunk on the margaritas or Bloody Marys already. I FaceTimed him and you look a little banged up. So enjoy it, big man.
I love it. I love it. Happy for your dad. Happy for Leeds United and Jesse Marsch. I'm such a fan of his work. And, this is a win for American coaches as well everywhere. It wasn't easy coming into it. We've said it already. When you take on a Marcelo Bielsa side or any side that depends so much on the authorship of a manager who puts in such a big imprint on the identity of a team, it's not easy. And Jesse Marsch has done that. And staying in the Premier League is a massive win for them. So well done. But Burnley, they go down, they lose to Newcastle, of course. So there's a lot there as well to discuss. Who would come up out of those three, would you say, the quickest, do you think? Watford, Norwich, or Burnley?
Gosh, at the rate Norwich come back and forth between the Premier League, you can't not count them out. They just seem to have the right players for the championship, whether that be automatic, promotion, which they've done in years past, or the playoffs. Gosh, this Burnley team, though, they are made for the championship in terms of their direct play. I think of the Ashley Barnes, who I think will thrive in the championship if he stays with Burnley. But it makes you realize how big of a loss Sean Dyche really was. And I think justice was served against Burnley for getting rid of him early on in the season, or too early from when the season ended. I think they still could have gotten the business done. He's just a survival artist with his team, and poetic justice served, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, really, honestly, that he left, because, what were you gambling by leaving or staying with him? You might as well just kept going, but they are going down, of course. What do you think, by the way? Who do you think would be the quickest one to come back up? Norwich, Watford, or Burnley? Norwich, by the way, with Dean Smith, they stick around with him. He knows exactly what it's like to bring back a team from the Championship to the Premier League. He did it with Aston Villa. We were 15th when Dean Smith took over. We're 15th in the Championship. So, there's something to be said about that. And don't forget about our Paramount Plus giveaway card. Make sure that you write in your name, your handle, Twitter, your comments in the chat section. We want to give them away. Paramount Plus gift card, $100 Paramount Plus gift card. All right, let's keep going here in Europe. Liga, Kylian Mbappe enrages Real Madrid as he stays PSG, and then he puts on a show against Metz, and I believe he's been speaking today, saying, that, his heart's with Paris Saint-Germain, of course, and he wants to, just continue this journey and see where they can go. There's still many reports about what the contract entails, of course, but everything is pointing to the fact that he'll have way more influence off the pitch as well. We had Jonathan Johnson talk about this yesterday, saying, that's nothing new here, but I'm pretty much betting on the fact that, what he's being offered is kind of ridiculous. But Kylian Mbappe makes a statement. Of course, 2025 is when he's there until, at the very least. And this is it, surely, Michael Lahoud. I mean, he's 23. By the end of all this, he'll still have a lot of years to go somewhere else. You got to make it happen right now, PSG. And it's going to be interesting what they do next.
I think it's going to be really interesting what they do next in terms of the players that are on this current squad and where they go. And I'm looking at you, Neymar Jr. Yes, you are Kylian Mbappe's best friend. Well, you know what best friends get you in a locker room? Nothing when it comes to the amount of power this guy has just been given in terms of having so much say in terms of which manager comes in or goes, or which players come in or go. I expect Neymar to be in a little bit of hot water, and I expect someone to come in with a big cash offer for the likes of him. Obviously, Messi making headlines with potential MLS moves on the horizon for him, or I think it's actually been confirmed with the look of him going to Inter Miami. A lot of shakeup coming up for this PSG team over the next 3 years, with Kylian Mbappe being the focus. And news headlines that I saw, that there were rumors of Emmanuel Macron of France calling Kylian Mbappe, imploring him, pleading with him to stay in the French capital, because why? The Olympics are coming. So this guy, the implications, this guy is an icon bigger than just PSG. He's an icon for the entire city and the entire country. Now it's going to be interesting what happens for an even bigger tournament that comes up, the World Cup. How is that going to impact the French national team locker room between he and Karim Benzema?
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. I think I tweeted a meme yesterday how Karim Benzema's just gonna. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Juice with Tupac, where there's like a scene where like the
Yeah,
character
good.
opens closes his locker, his school locker, and Tupac's just there, just staring at him. That's gonna be Karim Benzema. He's gonna be so mad,
Yeah.
Michael. I just,
Oh,
it's just gonna be hilarious to me. I don't listen. I just don't think Real Madrid didn't need this player. They just didn't need him. And yeah, I get you can be bitter as much as you want, but he's 23 years old. He's entitled to make his own decisions. He probably will play for you later on. I know Real Madrid fans at this point are saying he will never play for us. Oh, give me a break. Give it 3 years. He says he wants to come to Real Madrid, and I'm sure it will happen. Now, and now you can actually focus on things that you need. You need a right back. You need a left back. You need to, youthfulize. That's a word that I just made up. You need to youthfulize the midfield that's aging. Luka Modric isn't getting any younger. Casemiro isn't getting any younger. Toni Kroos isn't getting any younger. You don't need anybody. Vinicius Jr. is doing a fine job. Rodrigo's doing a fine job. You have the best player in the world in Karim Benzema. You don't need this right now. Okay, so sometimes you got to look at the glass half full, I feel. Okay, here's a call to action. Who should Real Madrid spend their money on this summer? Who do you think should, now that Kylian Mbappe is not happening, who do you think? If I were you, I go all out for Reece James. All out.
Wow.
I spend all the money in the world I can for Reece James. That boy will absolutely transform your defensive side. I know Chelsea fans, you're going to get really mad at me. Go all out for Reece James. Antonio Rudiger, by the way, is coming your way this summer as well. So it's going to be a good one. What do you think, Michael? Who should Real Madrid go for?
Oh, I would have to go someone in the midfield. I think they were smart to get Camavinga in terms of a role player. And you see the benefit in games like Champions League games. Camavinga has come off the bench and sparked this team and given that youthful zest to this team that they've been lacking at times. I would continue to look in the French league. They're rumored to be close to signing one of Monaco's midfielders, but I think they're going to need a box-to-box midfielder that can learn under the tutelage of Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. But I would look in the French league somewhere.
Frank Kessie?
The likes of a...
Ooh, do you think they could get Frank Kessie from AC Milan? I mean, I know they just won Scudetto, but...
I would say no to Frank Kessie because I don't think Frank Kessie, in terms of how he likes to play, I think
doesn't fit them. Yeah,
I don't think he fits the style of Carlo Ancelotti and also fits the style of Real Madrid.
So you stay in Liga for this one.
Yeah, I think Liga. I think the fact that Liga, you will have a player who will be able to cover ground for this Madrid team in their midfield. You need people who can cover ground. Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, yes, they're brilliant on the ball, can unlock defenses with passes, but those two, they got to run, and they've been running for years.
Yeah, no, good call. But anyway, you got to look at the glass half full, and you still got a final against Liverpool. So let's see what happens there as well. But again, who should Real Madrid spend their money on this summer, everybody? Call to action for that one. All right. Well, listen, Marseille. Hey, speaking of Marseille, I know we're going to talk about this later, but a certain Boubacar Kamara is heading to Villa Park per our Fabrizio Romano, and I am so freaking happy. I can't even tell you how good that is. But Marseille, I digress. Marseille have Champions League football, Michael Lahoud. Thoughts?
It was, talk about drama unfolding throughout Europe. It really set the stage of what was going to unfold today. Just the first domino to fall in terms of last minute drama. This is a Marseille team that took care of business. They had a shock loss to Rennes the match before, and you thought, okay, did they blow it? But you got to come out swinging when you have a point to prove. You got to put destiny in your own hands and hope for the best in the game that you can't control. They did that. Emphatic victory, and it was goals from midfield that made the difference in a Marseille team that's just been goals by committee, getting goals from wingers, but goals from midfield, central midfield made the difference in this match. And congratulations to them, because that is not an easy feat against a Monaco team that looked like world beaters after that 3-0 demolition of Paris in Monaco in the French Riviera. They looked unstoppable, destined almost to get second place, but it was not to be because they took off their best player in Ben Yedder right before the final whistle. You never do that. Madrid does not take off Karim Benzema until the job is done. Teams around the world, the best, don't take off your best player. They did that. It came back to bite them in the backside.
It did indeed. But Marseille, they clinch a Champions League spot. Congratulations to the Mets, by the way. They go down with Bordeaux. We mentioned Mets. They got absolutely demolished by Paris Saint-Germain. It was the Kylian Mbappe show, of course. So that's Ligue 1 for you. Quick on DFB Pokal final. Leipzig, they win their first ever title. Michael Lahoud, Tyler Adams, a happy man.
Yeah, and all of the Leipzig faithful should be very happy for Tyler Adams.
Look at that photo. I feel like he's had a few, actually.
Oh, yeah, the 8 waters that he's had. He looks like that should be an album cover, 90s album cover with the fishing hat. Love the drip, love the trophy. Looks like a natural holding the trophy. But these are the type of big game experiences. Look at Christian Pulisic winning the Champions League last season.
Yeah.
First American to do it. Tyler Adams winning another European trophy. These winning experiences, they help a certain U.S. national team who have the World Cup, the Nations League coming around the corner as well. These are the type of experiences you want young players to have. But in this match, you have to feel for Freiburg. The game was there. They took the lead. Leipzig, 2 red cards. Just, you can't make it up, but who delivers for Leipzig? None other than their talisman, Christian Nkunku. Manchester United, I haven't touched on you yet because there's no reason to talk about you with your performance you had today. But dear Santa Claus, if there's one wish I have for this Christmas, it's a Christian Nkunku transfer. I have Christian Nkunku plastered in the back of my jersey. If it didn't mean knocking over this microphone and just I wish Des could censor just the Christian Nkunku part until they make it happen. But that's the player that I'm such a fan of. And yet again, he delivers, getting the goal for Leipzig, keeping him the match, and of course scoring his penalty. Leipzig coming up victorious 4-2 in PKs.
Absolutely. So congratulations. By the way, it's worth mentioning that the Women's Champions League final was this weekend. Barcelona Femení, they were trying to make some history, but my God, Lyon came to play. You need to watch these goals, specifically the opener from Amandine Henry. It was incredible. But speaking of the Pulisic narrative last year, of course, and Katarina Macario also, she scored, became the first U.S. international to score in a Women's Champions League final as well. But Lyon, they won their 8th Champions League title yesterday. Unbelievable stuff there. Very surprising as well, Michael Lahoud. I thought Barcelona Femení were going to do something, and it was kind of like everybody has a plan until you punch them in the face. Like, that's literally what Lyon did.
Well, experience. Sometimes in finals and oftentimes in finals, experience ends up winning out. There's such a feel-good factor, and there still is a feel-good factor, and just disappointing for this Barcelona feminine team to not reward themselves with the Champions League to cap off just an incredible run of form that they've been on. No slouch, no takeaway from their season, but experience. When you have Champions League winning pedigree, winning club like Lyon over the last couple seasons, sometimes experience shows up, and you get stifled by that when you're a team on the rise. But I wonder if we're going to see a rivalry born out of this matchup. Could we see a rematch next season? Prediction time, already throwing that in the hat. So just an exciting moment for women's soccer.
Absolutely. I think Chelsea might want to fight for this one more time. Great work, obviously, under Emma Hayes as well. But, absolutely. Barcelona Femení, Lyon, they remain the royalty of this European women's competition. But Lyon, congratulations. All right, final thoughts, everybody. By the way, Fabrizio Romano will be here live on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So we're going to be discussing Mbappe, of course, and the PSG press conference and all the latest news, including Boubacar Kamara to the Aston Villa. Just letting you know, by the way. But there's a lot to discuss now as everything is, swindling down, coming to its conclusion. The Champions League final, Conference League earlier in the week, but transfers are going to take over as well. We got World Cup episodes as well. But final thoughts, my friend. My God, the final thoughts, Michael Lahoud, in terms of the end of the seasons. By the way, thank you to everybody that sticks with us every Sunday to watch and comment. I know that you're probably getting yelled at by your family. You should be doing something else, but you want to spend that with us. So we want to thank you on behalf of Michael Lahoud, myself, and the entire team. Thank you for being part of the family. But Michael, you can go anywhere, my friend. Final thoughts as we say goodbye in this last weekend recap.
As a Manchester United fan, today was not a good day. You knew I was saving the best for last.
No, go for it.
I'll just make it short. As a Manchester United fan,
all the time, go for it.
As a Manchester United fan, I have the kit on. And the name on the back that I actually want to get replaced is a former Manchester United player. He is my player of the season, Danny Welbeck. He doesn't even play for our team. He plays for Brighton. Danny Welbeck, thank you very much. You saved our blushes. We could have been in the Europa Conference League next year, where candidly, we probably belong with how topsy-turvy this season has gone, but you gifted us Europa League. Once a United player, always a United player. Danny Welbeck, you are my player of the season. Thank you. Gracias. Good night.
Absolutely. For getting that goal, of course, against West Ham, meaning the Manchester United, where their blushes were saved. Eric Ten Hag, though, very exciting summer for you there, Michael Lahoud, and Manchester United. We'll see what they do as well. Well, everybody, that was it. But like I said, we still keep going. Qué Golazo keeps going. We don't stop. We go the entire summer. Some of our colleagues, they're away now drinking their little cocktails with them. Not us. We keep going. So we got Fabrizio Romano. We got so much Champions League final preview action as well coming your way, including, of course, the Fulham preview, which will be later in the week. On the day itself, we'll have a few other episodes aiming as well to give you, some info leading up to kickoff and a recap as well. And after that, we keep going with more World Cup stuff and transfer stuff, etc. Michael Lahoud will be here. I'll be here. Our team, James Benn, Jonathan Johnson, Fabrizio Romano, and so many others. So, Michael, thank you so much, buddy. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Always a pleasure to be on. LME, you've been crushing it. Keep it going. Can't wait to pick back up next week.
It takes a village, my friend, and this is our team. We do it all together and do it just for you. Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter. Paramount Plus $100 giveaway. Please drop in your handle, your comments. P+. You can reply to us on Twitter as well, and we'll get to it. Jerry Ford, I know you exist, so we'll send you that gift card as well. Follow us at Mike Lahoud, at LMHegaray, Qué Golazo Pod, youtube.com/Qué Golazo. We will see you tomorrow with some Fabrizio Romano content and a very nice special episode regarding a certain team in the Conference League final, by the way. A nice, cool thing that's coming your way as well. So make sure that you watch out for that. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy it. And we will see you next time. Till then, bye-bye.